Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and these are the 2013 NBA Round 2 milestones from the series between the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs. All of these things happen over the course of the season, and if you keep hearing the same names over and over again, it's because so many of the players in this series are young guys who have never been in the playoffs before or who have only been in there once or twice before. First of all, Tim Duncan passed Shaquille O'Neal and tied Wilt Chamberlain for second all-time in career playoff double-doubles with 143. Magic Johnson is number one with 157. But that doesn't count because he's Magic. Tim Duncan has become just the seventh player in NBA history to play in 200 career playoff games. Tony Parker has played in 162 and passes Wilt Chamberlain for 26th all-time. Manu Ginobili has now played in 146 and ties Chauncey Billups for 35th. And Richard Jefferson has now played in over 100 career playoff games. Tim Duncan has played in 7,759 career playoff minutes and sits at 6th place on the all-time list. Tony Parker has 5,882 and passes Rasheed Wallace for 21st all-time. Manu Ginobili is at 54 with 4,471. Richard Jefferson is at 100 with 3,227. Tim Duncan has made 1,674 field goals in his playoff career and sits at 6th place on the all-time list and is 69 behind Karl Malone for 5th. Tony Parker has 1,220 and passes Kevin McHale for 16th. Manu Ginobili has 725 and passes Danny Ainge and Rick Barry for 56th. Richard Jefferson has 470 and is 132nd. Manu Ginobili has now made 243 pointers in the playoffs and is 7th on the all-time list. Tony Parker has made 86 and ties Rick Fox for 66. And Stephen Curry now has 42. Not bad for a guy making his first playoff appearance. 42 three-pointers in 12 playoff games. Kawhi Leonard has 26 and Klay Thompson has 25. Tim Duncan has now made 1,067 free throws in the playoffs and is 7th on the all-time list, and the next one that he makes will tie him with Magic Johnson for 6th place. Manu Ginobili is at 31 with 639 made, and Tony Parker is at 38 with 571 and is 5 behind Moses Malone. Tim Duncan has now become the 5th player in NBA history with 2,400 total rebounds in the playoffs. Manu Ginobili has 658. Tony Parker has 525. Tony Parker now has 840 career playoff assists and becomes 18th on the all-time list, 5 behind Rajon Rondo. And Tim Duncan has 659 and passes Danny Ainge for 28th. It is 4 behind Wilt Chamberlain. Manu Ginobili has 572 and passes fellow Spurs A.V. Johnson for 39 and is 3 behind another former Spur, Robert Horry. And Manu Ginobili has 214 steals in his playoff career and is 19th on the all-time list. And Tony Parker has 154, passing Spurs legend David Robinson for 38th. And Tim Duncan has 141. And Tim Duncan is already the all-time leader in playoff blocks, and he extended that to 494, so he is now 6 away from becoming the first player in NBA history with 500 career playoff blocks. And Tim Duncan now has 4,420 career playoff points and is 7th on the all-time list, 37 behind Jerry West. Tony Parker has 3,097 and passes Julius Erving for 19th. Manu Ginobili has 2,329 and is 38th. Richard Jefferson has 1,327 and is 127th.